it's actually later today. Like I gotta go and drive to the ceremony and everything. So that's what.
Wow.
But yeah, today, yeah. I mean, I still got projects. I got like final projects and stuff I gotta do. But yeah, today's the
Yeah.
day where it's like
Well, congratulations, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations. What's
It's
your
good.
next steps?
I don't know. That's the question. That's the question. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously find a job somewhere, do something, but I don't know. I wanna focus more on this,
I
and
mean, it's growing, so you might as well, if you know what I mean, if you have the means to do it without stressing you, I say go ahead and do it for a certain period of time where then you like, okay, I need to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I said before, like you've grown greatly since February. I think that's the first time I reached out to you. And to see how much your following has grown since then, and what at this point it we're probably like 7,000 people in 8 months. Like, and that's while you're going to school. So imagine if you didn't have to go to school and you could focus on growing your social media.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? So if you're able to do it, I say, go ahead and give your time that time to go ahead and grow it and see where it goes.
yeah. I mean, because I've been balancing, school and then this and then my actual job, like, and it's been a lot. So it's just like I'm trying to like, yeah, I want to
Um,
actually, put my mind and focus and, but hey, we move. It teaches us stuff.
right, right. Nah, that's what's up, man. You doing it out here. You definitely doing
Yeah,
it.
I
I didn't even know.
appreciate you.
Yeah, I didn't even know you had the job too. So that even
Yeah,
that's even more. That's
yeah,
even more.
yeah. What about you, man? What's going on? It's been a minute.
I know, man. Just trying to make moves, trying to continue to grow Arcana Recovery. We also rolled out a nonprofit.
Oh, word?
Yeah. I haven't released it publicly yet, but Arcana Cares Foundation. We're going to focus on the underserved communities. Now, when I say underserved communities, I'm talking about the professionals. I'm talking about uh, people that we overlook because we think they are the strong ones. And those typically
Mm,
need the most help because they're not used to reaching out for help, but they're the ones that everybody depends on. So I'm looking to connect with, high achieving, high functioning people that are struggling with mental health and addiction. So that's our focus for raising money for that nonprofit. But our kind of recovery app that's open to anybody that's seeking support. So
damn. Nah, that's dope actually. Like, cause I mean, I know like in this world, in this society, we look at people that like you're saying, high achieving people and people that like are successful and you know, I think it's already a given that people look at him and think, oh yeah, he's good, bro. Like you don't got to check on him. Like he's good. Like and even like my dad even tells me that too. Like he sees what I'm doing on social media and stuff, and like with the unhinged sanity, and he's like, oh yeah, like he told me the other day, he's like, oh, I don't got to worry about you. And
right,
it's like, damn, like I mean, why not though? Like
right,
it's like everybody goes through something, and mental health is big, and it's something that everybody should be, you know, worried about or talk about. You know what I mean? So that's
right.
dope. You actually doing that. What's the nonprofit called?
Arcana Cares Foundation. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we rolling that. So usually it takes like they say it takes like 60 days or 90 days to get a nonprofit what is it, approval back. It took like 3 weeks. And I was
Oh yeah,
like, no, I was like, I guess this is like a needed thing because they used to straight push that through.
yeah,
So into so right before I got on this call, that's what I was looking up grants that focus on, mental health and addiction. I know there's not a lot of grants for the space that I'm looking for because they already think, like I said, mostly CEOs, they have the money. Um, but we need to bring that awareness that the strong ones need to be reached out to as well. You know what I mean? So just bring in that awareness that, like you said, everybody struggles with mental health in some capacity.
yeah,
So just, and the strong ones rarely reach out to anybody
yeah.
until it's real bad. So
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, what made me do that actually was going through my own journey as the CEO of this company, this growing tech company, stepping into this space, and I hit a place where I was like mentally exhausted. And I was just like, "Dang, I don't want to say nothing because you know what I mean. I don't want to look a certain way. Like I can't, handle my business, this, that, and another." But that ended up kicking myself in the butt because I'm not doing what I need to do to like really grow the business the way it needs to go. I have all these opportunities and everything, and I fumbled all these opportunities, and it was like uh, I had once I pulled myself out of that space, I looked back and I was like, wow, people aren't talking about that. People aren't talking about the CEOs or the
Mhm.
startup founders, entrepreneurs, athletes, and also recently this mental health researcher named Nolan Williams. He created TMS. So I'm not really big with understanding with what TMS is, but I know it's like these radio waves or some types of waves that are supposed to help people with depression. Well, he ended up committing suicide.
Oh,
So
damn.
so I'm like, whoa, that's deep. Like the guy that's studying depression struggled with depression. Um, and he still, I guess, didn't feel comfortable enough to reach out. Um, that story came out, and then like a few weeks later, the football player who Marshawn Needland, oh man, I'm
Oh, from the
horrible with
Cowboys?
names.
He played for the
From
Cowboys.
for Cowboys, yeah,
Yeah.
committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, we really need to get this conversation going because yeah, successful people they dropping as well. So
Yeah, it's like and it's crazy, man. It's like I feel like there's not really like a lot of like safe places for people to really open up and to really speak out about it. Because like when people do though, it's like people don't care until it's too late.
right,
And it's like, how do we get to a point, or how do we make it to a point where when people speak out, it's like, how can we make them feel validated, or make them feel heard, or make them feel like it's okay and it's safe to feel what you're feeling? Because people love to preach, oh, mental health this, mental health that. We care about you. We care about your mental health. But like, and then when people start speaking about it, it's like, bro, like, chill out, chill out, chill out. You know what I mean? And it's like
right.
people be going through it, and like, well, there was like one guy too. This was years ago. The dude from CNN, he used to
Hmm.
travel. I forgot his name. Anthony, I think Anthony.
I think I know what
Starts
you're
with a
talking
B.
about.
Yeah, he used to travel and like eat food everywhere,
Yeah, the older
and like, yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He committed suicide too, and everybody was like, oh, I think everybody too, like at that point, were like, oh man, like mental health is
It's
serious, and
true.
it's like, yeah,
Right.
so it's real, like, because they're like, oh, he had money in the world, he was traveling, he's doing that, but it's like, nah, like, it don't matter what status and what level you at in life, like everybody struggles with this mental health and depression, like it's a thing,
Right.
and like I
Right.
know, no one cares till it's too late. It's like,
Right. And even down to it, like sometimes people don't know how to respond to it as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
What I noticed. So even when I was going uh through my journey, I was like expressing to my friends, this is, I'm feeling exhausted. My one friend, he's a lawyer. He was like, well, I hope you was able to work through it. You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, I was like, no, actually, I'm going to rest for the day. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
We have we have this mentality in our community to just keep pushing through whatever it is, you know what I mean? And that is what pushes people to the edge. Like you just keep pushing through, you keep pushing through, you keep pushing through and not addressing those things that you need to address or just resting, just taking that time to regulate your nervous system.
yeah,
Um, you know, going on that trip to just, unplug like and I even told even told friends that I was like, "Man, I need to go on a trip where I just unplug. I don't want to turn up. I don't want to do none of these things. I just want to unplug." They were like, "That's boring." I'm like, "Man, man, man, oh man." I'm like, but we wonder why we're so stressed though.
it's needed though, man. It's needed because like even I even tell myself the same thing. It's like because I sometimes I have trouble with just resting and like
Yeah,
taking a break because like I'm just so used to being on go mode
yeah,
and like actually having to rest like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's cool to be want to be able to rest and unwind and unplug. And it's like I think we like as a society should like preach that more because you know
right,
people always say that you gotta be that grind must the hustler like mindset. You know what I
mm,
mean? Like you shouldn't. Oh, I'll sleep and I'll rest when I'm dead. You know what I mean? That's what
right,
people saying.
right,
It's like nah, like you really should chill out and you should rest sometimes. You know what I mean?
right.
And yeah,
And
once you
I just came across this article about rest. I've been seeing a lot of people post about it. But this doctor, I be wishing I be having people name like I'll call her like Dr. Sharon.
yeah,
Dr. Sharon, that's what I'm gonna call her. Shout out to you if that's not your name, but I love what you're doing, and I'm gonna make a post about this in a few weeks. But she has seven, she has seven. What's your correct name? She has seven types of rest. And when I read that, it made so much sense about the type of rest that I needed. Sometimes I thought the rest was just kind of going to sleep, but really it was just like mental exhaustion. So you need to do something else for this rest versus just going to sleep. So maybe it's detoxing from all the input. And I'm not just gonna talk about social media. I'm talking about like I read a lot and like I'm always searching for information. Um, but I noticed that I've been getting like overloaded. So that type of rest I need is like, okay, Sharina, don't read nothing else for the rest of the day. Just kind of maybe you need a journal. You know what I mean? So you can get all that stuff out of you. Then there's physical rest. Um, she also has like creativity. Like all these different types of rest to really meet the needs that you need. Versus sometimes we just think, oh, I just need to go to sleep or I just need to, not do nothing. So
it sounds like it's like you got just take like it sounds like taking a break just from like your everyday regular like what you got going on. It's like because you said creativity rest, like creative rest.
yeah, yeah. I'm out to let me see if I can pull it up just a little quickly. So I can also say her correct name. But, yeah, I definitely think and I was supposed to been like post this, but I wanted to do it on Sunday. But every time Sunday comes around, like I forget about it.
Yeah, I feel
I might just go ahead and just post it just to post it. But she has physical health, mental health, emotional, social, creative, spiritual, and like your different senses.
hmm,
Yeah.
that's interesting. If you send me the doctor, I'm gonna
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think
yeah
it's
or the
dope. Yeah,
article.
I
Yeah,
think yeah. And when I came across that, I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I love that." So yeah.
damn. You know it's crazy. Like I was actually thinking the other day. You were actually the first person to reach out to me like in this space. Yeah, like it's just in general, like just like yeah. But like, nah, I just wanted like because last time we spoke for real was like maybe what a year ago? Was it last year?
That was like February, so it was like close to the beginning of the year. Yeah.
Was it? Nah, because I remember. Damn, I don't know. Yeah, all right. Because I swear I thought it was last year sometime. But
Nah, like so I looked through the messages and because I was trying to figure out because I uh saw how much you've grown and you're following, and I was like, dang, I know when I met him, he was at like 4,000. Like, I don't know why I remember numbers like this, but I guess it's a blessing. So I go
yeah,
back and I look, and I'm like, oh man, it was back like February. Yeah,
damn, damn. Yeah, because I know we're supposed to do a little collabs and like here and there and stuff like that. But
still got it going in the works though. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing stopping us
yeah,
but us.
now I tapped into the app, man. It's dope.
No, I appreciate that.
And I know there's a lot of people in the space too that's trying to create apps and you know try and be in this space too, and you know. But
But I think it's needed.
yeah how's the growth with that going?
It's going good. It's not, I would say, I had to shift directions because mainly I was going to businesses, treatment centers, and connecting with treatment centers. When I reached out to you, I was looking to experiment with recovery coaches or people that may have like support groups and stuff like that outside of treatment to give like alternatives for people that do not want to go to treatment. They still had access.
Yeah.
But more recently, I would say in the last like 2 months, I was like, maybe I need to just go directly to people um seeking support because I did like a little, let me see. I partnered with a social media influencer maybe last year. I think it was last year, or maybe it was the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And when he pushed it out to, his following, we got a lot of people that downloaded the app. And I thought people would just download the app and self-manage their recovery. They would
Yeah.
just download, they would put their own recovery goals in, they would, be able to continue on with whatever their routines were and integrate this into their lifestyle. But that audience wasn't looking for that. They was actually looking for help. So I was like, oh shoot, I don't have the actual help. So then that is what made me want to reach out to recovery coaches. So it was like I saw like a interesting crowd of people were some of them were very successful people, but they didn't want nobody to know that they needed to go through detox with heroin. They didn't. I was, and I'm like, my mind was open at that point because I was like, oh, I didn't know. When we think of heroin addicts, we think of people that pretty much hit the rock bottom. We don't think about people that are business owners,
Yeah.
are nurses. Like, people were really, like, confiding in me, like, and I'm, like, trying to go through my resource directory to help them, but they actually want just one-on-one help, which I'm not able to give because 'cause I'm not certified, or, I didn't feel as though I could help them the way they needed help. So, when that traction of people actually downloading and self-managed their recovery started to speed up a little quicker, I stopped resisting the sense of going directly to people versus treatment centers. I'm still open to collaborate with treatment centers so they can use it with people because it's supposed to be used in two ways, either while they're going through outpatient to their discharge or when they're being discharged from inpatient programs. Um, but I'm really back to this self-managing or alternative type of recovery. So that's where we're at now. And I would say it's definitely been interesting because now, like, my following is mostly like therapists. And it was like, hold on. I was like, this is not the direction directly I was going. I was looking for people seeking support, but we'll see what we can do with it though.
I mean, therapists though, that might be a good avenue to go to, like, or to like be a part of, because I know
Yeah.
there's just one therapist I keep seeing on my feed, but she's very tapped in, and she's very like she focuses more on like recovery for like women and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I know, because therapists, I feel like therapists too, like it'd be good for them to push, you know, yeah, like the app and Arcana and all that, because like they have like credentials behind them, and they're credible, and they have like they'll be able to provide those type of resources or be able to
Got
help,
you.
or or you can partner with them, and they can push it and like be the therapist behind the scenes that like
Mhm.
can provide that support that you can't necessarily give. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, therapists, that wouldn't be a bad idea. You know what I mean? And when you say you're trying to go more into the like recovery centers and the
Oh, so yeah, that was our original. So no, so to the therapist point, yeah, we do try to like partner with therapists to say if you know anybody that does have substance abuse problems, you can send them this way, and we'll keep you in the loop as their therapist as well. So we do partner with them in that sense. But I was so you're absolutely right. One point. Um, But the thing that I also saw with therapists is they're already overwhelmed with uh their I want to say like their workload in a sense. Like I've been seeing a lot of therapists that are talking about like self-care for therapists and stuff like that because they notice, how burnt out people are starting, how burnt out therapists are, and sometimes they're underpaid if they work for like an organization or if they are independent, um how they're doing like back to back therapy and it's like overwhelming them and stressing them out so they can make pay. So I look at them more as a strategic partner in the sense of, like you said, if they do have a client that they notice have substance abuse, they could say, "Here we have this app," and or we could say, "Here we have this person." So that also leads us to our next expansion. So the last 2 months, we've been working to expand to telehealth. So where we're actually giving services to people um, outpatient uh, online, starting with Pennsylvania. So we've been working on that for the last 2 months to get licensed in Pennsylvania to begin those services too.
Damn. Hell yeah. Damn,
Yeah.
it's actually I'm gonna find them. There was somebody that followed me that it actually works in like that in the space that you in, or like
Hmm.
it's in this space in general, but they in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I'll probably I'm gonna try and tap y'all in together because
I
you know
appreciate
it's yeah because he was telling me some stuff that he was doing and I was like, oh damn, like I wish I could help, but since y'all both from Pennsylvania, you know what I mean?
it. Might be a connection. Yeah. No,
Right,
I
right,
definitely
right.
appreciate that.
So like how you dealing with burnout and stuff like that? Because I know you were saying like
Yeah, man. I didn't even know what burnout was until after I got out of it. I was like, oh, that's what I was experiencing. I was like, oh, that is what that is. Because that's no, it's funny. I'm gonna come back to that because I remember my friend, saying that they were going through anxiety. And this is me first coming out of recovery, which first coming out of like inpatient. So I went to inpatient and that was back in 2018. And they were telling me about anxiety, this, that, and another. And I was just like, I don't know what that is, but you might just need to just work through it. I had that mentality, just work through it. So I want to say when I started Arcana Recovery, I felt anxiety. I had to call them up. I sent them a text or something like that. I was like, I know what anxiety is now. I understand where you come from. So that was kind of my journey too with burnout. As I'm reading about people having burnout, this, that, and another, I'm like, I don't know. I can't relate to it, this, that, and another. But the whole time I was going through it. You know what I'm saying? I would say mine's came from live I've lived a life where it's like if I thought about it, it felt good, I did it. That was it. Um, when I came into Arcana Recovery, so many people wanted to help, which I appreciate that because a lot of founders, especially Black women or just Black individuals, they say they struggle with people helping them and stuff like that. With me, a lot of people came help, a lot of people came pouring in. I was getting all this information, but I felt like people was trying to box me in a sense. Like I should move this way, I should dress this way, I should talk this way. And it was throwing me off completely because all of my life I pretty much navigated it pretty much like how I wanted to. And if somebody was trying to tell me to fit into a box or something like that, I just got up and went to another place. You know what I mean? So it was just like I never um experienced that until building Arcana Recovery. So that's where a lot of my burnt out came from, like just trying to fit in, just not having like I lost my I guess my vision mixed in with everybody else's opinion.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I ended up so what helped me, which was one of my partner. My partner, she helped me and she didn't know she was helping me. I used her as an anchor in a sense, but she didn't know that. But I wasn't like leaning on her. But there was certain times that we would talk. And when we would talk, I would say, I would have this done by this. I would do this by this. So that was my first like two weeks of just focusing on using her as an anchor. Then I started adding fitness to that. I was like, okay, now I'm gonna start going to the gym. Then I started adding something creative to that because I'm a very creative person and I love it. You know what I'm saying? So I started doing that. And all these little pieces is how I like found myself again in a sense of being like reminded who the hell I was. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it was just like then I got to the point where I had people that were very helpful in a sense, or they wanted to be helpful, but it wasn't what I needed. So I had to like let go of those relationships as tight as they were because I was beginning to outgrow them, but I was keeping them on because they were so nice to me and this, that, and another. But it was like, it wasn't helping my growth. It was just kind of keeping me kind of stagnant in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to like pretty much audit my life in a sense and was like, okay, what is going on with you? What is different? What do you need to change? What do you need to look deeper into? And how do you move forward?
You think there's some people still surrounding you with the Arcana that's like trying to like not necessarily take over, but like still trying to like change the vision or take it away from what you see it becoming?
No, so I actually now I'm very blessed. I like when I sit with the people that I have, um, that are closest to me with Arcana, it's um like I just be like just smiling, just so happy because I'm like, yo, I found my tribe. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's like one of the people I'm thinking about right now off the top of my head is my accountant. I have three people that are on my accounting team. And my one accountant, he was like my we'll call him my lifeline because as I'm going through this burnout phase, he was a checkup point, like in a sense of he was just like, well, maybe you could, you know, do podcasts, maybe you could do video. Maybe he's like, I feel like you lost yourself. Like he was like really like holding my hand through this, you know what I mean, through this journey. Then he partnered with somebody else and he brought that partner in. And I said, during our meeting, he was like, well, what's your next move? I was like, I want to do telehealth. He was like, okay. He's like, I'm about to go look at my resources, see what, this, that, and another. And he was like, do you want to open a nonprofit? I was like, yeah. He was like, okay. He started putting all
yeah,
these people in place to
yeah.
help this vision come where it's no longer putting more on me. He's actually using his resources to help make this stuff happen for me. So it was like, oh shoot, I can breathe a little bit now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had people like that. My CTO, man, that man's been really good to me. That man has been really good to me. To his services are about like anywhere between like 10,000 and 12,000. Not once has he charged me that amount to work with me. And he has exited several businesses where it's like, he could be like, well, you ain't able to pay, you know what I mean? I can go ahead and leave.
Right.
Nah, he sits down with me. He comes up with creative ideas with me, talk geeky about AI and technology, where it's going, all this type stuff, and gives me that space to grow as a tech founder. And I definitely appreciate that. So those two main groups, because he also has developers under him that I talk with as well. Um, they have definitely helped like sustain like that positive energy for me to take my ideas and turn them into reality. So
Damn,
yeah.
how big is your group?
So my group is not big at all. My group is those two people, then I have another person, and then I partner with other people that aren't as they're more like subcontractors. They're not as
Okay. Is it like a virtual meeting, a virtual like
yeah.
company, or is it you got like an in-house like hub or like an office?
No, yeah, it's all virtual. So I do have an office, but I don't ever use it. So with my accountant, in their building that they rent, I have an office inside of there.
Okay, okay,
When
okay.
we start our telehealth services, I'm going to have to move to the office.
I was looking at the page like before we got on got on the podcast here. I see it growing. I see it's good. Like, but like, do you ever see it like being like humanized, like with you at all? Like, do you ever want to show like or like tell your story or show yourself, or give something or somebody to relate to?
So I was just talking to my accountant about that. And I said, so it's funny that you reached out to me last week because I told him this is the exact story. So I just had this conversation with him like 2 hours ago. I was like, I was talking to my partner and I was like, man, I know I got to do a podcast. People keep on asking me to do podcasts, but I don't. But I was like, man, I really don't want to. This, that, and another. And she was like, because this other guy asked me too. And I was just like, people just keep on asking me, keep on asking me. And I'm like, I really don't want to. She was like, well, I'm putting it on your schedule that you're going to do a podcast in the next 2 weeks. So next day you reach out.
Yeah. Damn. That's
You reach
crazy
out.
timing.
You reach out. And I'm like, all right, it's time to do the podcast. So I'm sitting there looking at the message and I send it over to her. And I was like, I was like, yo, we speaking into existence. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy
was like,
timing.
let's do it. Let's do it. So, yes, for years, people have been asking me, to bring the human aspect to it. Um, and I would say that goes back to the beginning of me, like really pushing Arcana as well. When I first started, so I had an NBC. NBC came out, flew out from New York to Pennsylvania, did a whole segment on me. All the local newspapers did segments on me. This all overwhelmed me.
I
I was
bet.
like, "Oh, shoot," you know what I mean? Like, I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, this is a lot," you know what I mean? But I know that my story resonated with a lot of people because I started getting people reaching out from all over. Um, and because I'm naturally like a helper, like I just want to help people. Like I give unsolicited advice, you know what I mean? If I can, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
am, you know what I mean? But usually people are like, this is useful, youthful. But uh I was like, I really didn't want to, but that's on my vision board for 2026 is to build my personal brand. And I think because I had this mentality of like, how can I because I like to so this is the problem that I have with time management. I love to help people. I love to like, let's hop on a call for an hour. Let's do this. Let's do this. But then I don't have enough time to go back to my business and do my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it was like, or after those meetings, I might be a little exhausted. So I don't feel like doing my business. So it was like, it was hard for me to balance. I would get guests pouring in to people or, that aspect and then also turn around making policies, turn around creating grants. You know what I mean? Like it was hard to flip flop those two worlds. And I actually talk about that as one of the issues with those that are high and high functioning, high achieving people, where it's like the reason why sometimes we do feel lonely is because sometimes for us to access this high level of thinking you have to eliminate certain distractions or certain things. Um, but sometimes we don't know when to turn that off. So when we come back to family, like it's like, okay, now it's time to switch. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have that, like let's say you do have a drive from home. So you come from work and you gotta drive 30 minutes instead of taking a call or something like that, you just drive in silence. So you can think everything through, have a moment of peace, and then go to your family. Where some people aren't doing that, it's just like you got to switch over. You know what I mean? Even like with some of my friends, like I tell them, I'm working between this time and this time. If you call or text, I'm not answering because I need to stay in this thought process or whatever. I think that was also part of how I ended up getting burnt out too, trying to balance these two different states, these two different mental states.
Do you think for the like a high achieving, successful people like having to eliminate those distractions, you think that's like you think that's the main reason why they, necessarily don't want to like speak out or speak up like about it? Like about mental
Mm.
health?
Um, I think that's a good question. Um, I could say I could say with through my experience, I think it's not something that we may think about until you sit back and you have that self-awareness and you kind of think about that and you're like, oh, okay, this is why maybe I'm so drained, or maybe this is why I need to seek other behaviors because I'm overstimulated. Or you know what I mean? So this space that I just thought about with the mental health, this is something people already been doing, it's just not loud out there. But this is something that I took more time to like research in like the last 3 months in a sense to, understand myself. And this is actually through my relationship with my partner that I found out that like I've heard about it before through other relationships, like, yo, when you get focused in your thing, you get focused and this da, 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 da. Whereas though this time I really was like, okay, then let me see what I need to change. How can I change it? How can I make up for it? Versus just being like, this is how I work. You know what I mean? Like I love what I do. I love working. I love, this, that, and another. I love creating. Versus being like, oh, how can I compromise? Without losing myself and still being able to achieve things that I want to achieve. Yeah, I definitely think it's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey.
Now, I was gonna say, going back to, personalizing and humanizing the brand, I think what you're doing, like community wise, like you're already doing it. I
Mhm.
just think you got to be able to, you know, just put it out there more.
Right.
I don't know if you already are, but
Mm-mm.
with Arcana and everything, I don't know if you have like a separate page from,
Mm-mm.
that page and everything where you're doing that. Oh, okay. But now, like, I just know because I just know in this space and like because people want to be able to hear stories and like
Mhm.
relate to it. You know what I mean? And it's like that's one thing that I've noticed too. It's like most people don't want to speak up or speak out. If they don't see anybody else doing it. You know what I mean? It's like why they feel like, well, why should I? Why can't I? If like because they don't feel like it's comfortable enough. If I'm making
Mhm.
sense, like they don't want to be the first one to say anything. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like because even for myself, like I've had people that like I've heard speak up about like not necessarily speak up, but they've mentioned, their struggles with mental health or addiction. And I got a cousin that like that's been doing like speaking up about his like addiction and stuff like that with alcoholism and stuff like that. And for years and years before I even started doing what I'm doing, it's like
Mhm.
seeing his content and like listening to him speak, it's helped me in a way and to like
Yeah.
really just like tell my story and everything. And it's like, I don't know. I think I see a lot of growth that could happen for you. Like if you were to able to just share your story. And it's like, I'm rooting for you for real. Like
Appreciate it.
I want to see it, man. I want to see it. And it's like, and I think a lot of people will benefit from it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So shit,
No, I
whenever you go,
definitely
yeah,
appreciate it. I
yeah,
definitely appreciate it. And
whenever you get,
I think so. Yeah, I just think is definitely that's one thing that I can say I love about what I guess technology has done for um traditional leaders, I guess. Even like pastors or who else I was thinking about? Doctors. I was just thinking about this too. I was like, we went to we come from a place where it's like I don't know if you remember, but pastors used to just have on black suits and, or, they would just wear suits and,
yeah,
have this certain look. Whereas though I'm not sure if you know who TD Jakes is and Sarah Jakes is. I feel
absolutely.
like some of these pastors, these younger pastors, they have, shown up as their self and the way they dress and the way they talk. And it has helped people come back to church because now they see somebody that they relate to. So I feel like that's even with CEOs too. And I think that's part of the reason why it's important for me because through my journey, like I said, I've had interesting conversations. I've had people tell me I should dress a certain way because I'm a CEO of a company. But then I also had people say yo, I love that you wear a pair of Jordans to uh parents or guest appearance or whatever. Like the one, he was the regional director of the bank. He came up to me. I had these Jordan they just released. He came up to me. He's like, "Oh my god, I missed the release. I can't believe you got them." And he's in his whole suit and everything. He's like, "I know I don't
Yeah,
wear Jordans, but I do." He was like, "I wish I could wear them like you could." So it was like, to me, that moment was like, dang, you know what I mean? Like, you never know, like, how you show up,
yeah,
how it will make a person feel, or this, that, and another. So I remember even when I was working um for the government, and the one guy was like, "You're never going to get promoted because you got locks." He was like, "I guess you're going to have to cut them if you." I was like, "Dang, that's a negative way to look at it." But as I'm going
right,
through these interviews with people, I'm like, "All right, maybe he was right, or he was telling me the truth." But I was like, "Well, at least my plan isn't to stay here, though." You know what I mean? So,
right, 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 right.
um, it's just been interesting, like I said, how, like, we're just coming out, and this is why I love connecting, especially with even black men that are in recovery, because we don't see that a lot. So whatever I can promote a black man that's doing his thing in recovery, like, I'm putting it out there, because it's like, we don't see this. Well, I feel like we don't see this often enough.
Yeah,
So I think, back to what you're saying, me telling my story, not only because it's a story that people can just relate to, um, my story, I I look different from a tech founder. I look different from a uh, I would say, a person that has raised money. Even when you see another black woman or a black man, they might still be in their suit and jacket. And I was like, that was never my thing for real. And I would come to these rooms, and which was interesting. I would come into these rooms, and they'd be very suited up, looking nice, like looking real nice. I don't want to take apart if because I do have this one style, like this GQ looking style, that I do want to get to at one point. But I'm
yeah,
still gonna rock my Jordans every so often.
right.
I remember there was a time when I would hesitate and be like, "Oh, should I dress like this or should I dress like that?" And then I had to be like, "Sharina, show up as you." And every time I did that, um, it was met with, like, people felt like they could relate to me. Like, it was so wild to me. Like, so I do definitely believe building my personal brand and just showing the world who I am, and telling my story, it will be helpful.
I mean, yeah, because like, why keep it small? Why keep yourself small and boxed into the norms? You know what I mean? So I think if people were to see you pop out, talking about what you're talking about, doing what you're doing, or wearing the newest Jordans, they're gonna be like, damn,
Right.
like,
Right.
I like what you're saying, and you can dress. All right, like, yeah, I'm like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like people want to see that. You know what I mean? So I say definitely do it. And I'm in your corner. You feel me? So
Nah, I appreciate that. No, and it's
yeah,
work. Like I said, I've definitely seen that at work. Like, I had a community center with youth, 11 through 17. The youth, like, I we would do this morning activity where it was called Star City Community Arts. So I'm not sure if I told you I was a veteran, or I am a veteran. I was in the military as well. So in the military, there's these letters that stand for leadership. Um, and I kind of use that same thing for Star City. It was like selflessness, teamwork, attitude, respect. So every morning we would talk about whatever the theme was for the week. And I didn't have to say nothing. I would just come in and walk through, and I would sit at the stage, sit on the stage, and everybody would gather their little chairs and sit, and we began our little thing. So I would then dismiss them to their classes, and I would, like, look into the classes, and they're acting all wild and this, that, and another. And I would just be like, then I would come in, and then they would be quiet. And I'll be like, why are y'all acting out? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't y'all respecting this teacher like y'all respect me? And they were like, well, we feel like we can relate to you, and you talk to us like a person, and you show us you're attentive. And it was just like, okay, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So pretty much what I took from that also too, because when I started that, people was like, you should dress this certain way because I was an owner of a community center. Then it was just like, no, I'm gonna show up like me. And I was able to bring out stuff from these students that their parents didn't even know. Like it was like an arts type thing. So it was like we had this art show. Parent came up to me and was like, I didn't even know my child was creative. Like I didn't even you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was like, wow, I was like, yo, I can really relate, you know what I mean? Like I really like relate to different people, you know what I'm saying? And um you're absolutely right. And I swear, like I'm trying to step into that. I'm trying to.
Hey, one step at a
Um
time, one day at a time. You know what I
right.
mean? So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Right.
Hey, well, you doing good things. You're doing good things, yo.
Nah, I definitely appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Is there anything you want to plug? You know, what I'm saying before we close out of here.
Um I would say definitely download the Arcana app if you're looking for support or looking to self manage your recovery. Soon we'll be rolling out support groups. So that's one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to um, finding people that are interested in either leading the groups or people that just want to be a part of the groups. We have the telehealth coming for Pennsylvania, but hopefully after we get that license, 6 to 12 months after that, we'll be going to West Virginia and Ohio, and then down to the DMV. Um, then we also got Arcana Cares Foundation. So if you want to donate to bring awareness to high performing, high functioning individuals, the strong ones, definitely hit me up. That website should be coming soon. I want to say big shout out to you. You doing your thing. Keep telling your story. That transformation was dope. Matter of fact, before I end, how long did that transformation take you? I don't that picture you took.
That picture, that was maybe what I was before I got sober. So
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I've been sober going on 3 years now. So that was, yeah, 3 year, a 3 year span. But I
yeah.
mean,
Oh,
uh,
dope. That's dope though.
yeah.
And them leg muscles is crazy. Cause you know how
I,
sometimes people just work on the upper body and then their
yeah,
legs be like, you know what I mean? You
I'll
be
be
doing the
running, so I
full
gotta make sure,
body.
yeah, I'll be running, so I gotta make sure my legs are straight. You know what I mean? So,
Got you. Got you.
yeah,
Well, I'm looking forward to you even making more of that content too and really, putting that fitness and, your journey, recovery journey together for real, because I think that's a big thing as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing more,
yeah.
footage and
There's
content about that.
avenues. Yeah, there's avenues. I'm trying to. We'll see what we can shake. The social media. You gotta play it right. But yeah, but nah, I appreciate you tapping in, coming on, man. For real.
And I appreciate the opportunity.